Hey, what's up guys, Diplex here again. Welcome back to my first ever trailer analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the official trailer for Holdfast Nations at War. Now, the game has already been greenlit on Steam, so we don't have to worry about that. When the game is ready, we'll be able to play it, and I'm super excited. Now, the game was announced like 10 days ago, but I haven't seen any other major YouTubers that are at least interested in the era and the style of gameplay do any coverage on it. It's kind of somehow, you know, gone under the radar, which I'm quite surprised about because it does look very fantastic. But as I said, the game has already been Steam greenlit. Do me a favor, if you're interested in this, be sure to stay up to date on the development and the progress when it comes to making this game. Head over to Steam, go to the community, search for Holdfast Nations at War, follow, favorite, do whatever. They're going to be releasing Q&A questions here. Or they're going to be answering questions rather, and just in general keeping everyone updated. I think there's also a forum, but it does say that it's going to be released in 2017, so it's not all too far away. Super excited. For those of you who know me well enough, know that I've been very involved in Mount & Blade Warband and the Napoleonic Wars community in general. Most of the developers behind this game have a very deep roots in development when it comes to Mount & Blade Warband and mods and other games afterwards in general. So they're big fanatics when it comes to history, accuracy, and gameplay. They started out as gamers, not as developers. So this is going to be absolutely fantastic, I am sure. But let's drop Steam for now. It's all greenlit. It'll all be good. Let's just support it on its way because this has actually made me super excited. So without claiming to be an historical expert or anything else, we're going to take a look at the official trailer, do a little trailer analysis, see what I can say, see what touch I can add to it. It's only a minute and 11 seconds, but we'll be pausing throughout just to take notes and say little things about what we can see. Now, there's like a fancy 2K option, but knowing that I'll render this video out into, well, it might actually improve. YouTube doesn't have the best buffer rates at all times and stuff like that. But without further ado, let's click play and let's see what we can... oh, no, Jesus. Okay. There we go. So, first of all, Naval Game Studios, lots of water. There's probably going to be ships. Yes, indeed. Let's take a pause. Okay, beautiful looking ships. Not a expert in ships either, but this seems to be perhaps a frigate. It's got one level of guns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably 16 guns. Once again, not great with ships. Could it be a sloop? I don't know. But looking fantastic. We have some units here on the right side, or at least some player models. We see what seems to be a captain with a sword over his shoulder and some seamen on his both sides. British flag at the back. And these ships are different. I believe the one in the rear is bigger. They also have a different texture. We do have some Royal Marines up here that you can see with the top hat. Not sure if that's the historical name for the hat they wore at the time, but we'll keep it common here. I don't think everyone watching is going to be all too picky about it, but yeah. Victory belongs to the most persevering. Napoleon Bonaparte. Oui. On va le percer le flanc. Okay, first of all, Voltigeurs. Cool. We have a flag carrier, an officer. We have a few skirmishers up front, and I do believe... Oh, so the people up front are Voltigeurs. You can tell they have the big plume. They also have the blue uniform. I'm pretty sure there's a likelihood that they could be chasseurs, but I'm going to probably presume that they're more the basic Voltigeurs. Behind, we have a regular line infantry regiment. I could be wrong, though, because they have the fancy... I'm not sure what you would call that, but there's a fancy ornament on top of their shakos, which would indicate that they might be Young Guard or some sort of elite unit. The banner indeed does look quite fancy. That's probably an adjutant or a lieutenant of some sort with an officer on his side. We have what could be an engineer on the side here. Perhaps he's placing something. I'm pretty sure this is all gameplay, and graphics look fantastic. Another unit at the back there, which could be also some sort of chasseur or voltigeur, at least light infantry. Not having the plume on his hat, though, but he does have the same difference in color. They almost seem to be a little brownish. Could just be the video quality. We'll continue playing, and we'll see what happens. Get a closer look here. Definitely. Okay. Yeah, that is definitely not basic line infantry. Oh, we get a better look at the light infantrymen we saw on the rocks there and behind the line. Definitely light infantry, but not with the plume that the Voltigeurs or the other skirmishers had at the front. Perhaps those are chasseurs or just from a different unit in general. Yeah, okay. More naval action. Fantastic looking skins and models. Love the lighting, love the graphics. It's almost got like a cartoony effect. Looks really good. Good detail. We can see some difference in ammunition down here. We have the round shots. We have what probably is some sort of shrapnel. And perhaps something explosive, depending on what the guns can fire. More Royal Marines, another seaman, and they seem to have different textures. Perhaps that's depending on the role, or that's like a uniform variety. More variety. That could be a carpenter or an engineer. That could be, probably not a carpenter. That's a fancy name for someone who's going to fix a boat. Probably some sort of sapper engineer that has a duty in repairing or building. He's got a hammer in his hand. That guy's carrying a round shot. This person does have a different hat, slightly different tunic and clothing. He could be some sort of second to the captain or admiral standing up there. I doubt an admiral would be riding on a ship of this size for historical accuracy. More Marines with that beautiful top hat. Lovely uniform. I did not know they had blue pants. I thought they had white, but that is just probably a mistake of mine. We're going to take a closer look here. That guy's probably steering the ship. This man is commandeering it. Desperate affairs require desperate measures. Horatio Nelson. Glorious British Admiral, yes. Okay, another look at the ship we saw at the start. Everyone seems to be manning the guns, and the captain is doing a little animation with the sword, so we might see a volley. Lovely. Okay, cool smoke effect and part. Ooh, destruction. Okay, and ragdolls. That's great. We have two French seamen here being blown to pieces by a British volley. Oh, a nice musket volley there from what seems to be a Young Guard regiment. And let's see the Brits. Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely. We got a variety of units here. We see artillery. We see what seems to be the 95th Rifles. Very famous skirmishing unit, light infantry unit, whatever you want to call it, during the Napoleonic Wars. In green, they were nicknamed a bunch of different things. If you're interested in this era and want to see a somewhat realistic, not overly historical, not overly grand series and visualization of the Napoleonic Wars, check out Sean Bean's Sharp 95th Rifles. It's amazing. Okay. Oh, it's fun at least. It does give me some good tingles. British Line Infantry, center company with the white and red plume. Officer at the front, probably a captain, lieutenant. Can't really tell what unit this is, but they do have the blue blue buffs. Is that what you call it? No, but the blue. There's a word for the spots where the different color distinction would be placed. Blue cuffs. Okay, minor. I haven't done anything Napoleonic in ages, so excuse my Napoleonic vocabulary for being a little worn out at this time. But they do have the blue colors for details, which would signal that they're a royal regiment. So this could be the first, first Royal Regiment. They were later named Royal Scots, I believe. It's definitely not the 42nd, which was Royal Highland, because they would be Scottish and they'd have kilts and a bonnet. Yes. This could be the 8th, King's Own, could be the 4th. No, I think 8th was King's Royal, 4th was King's Own. I could go on forever and probably get something wrong, but you do catch my drift. Volley and people getting shot and killed. Look at that, beautiful. And different animations. We've got an overstab, understab, and a idle animation. That's what we like. Explosion back there. Probably a round shot or a HE. Could be a howitzer. Naval battles in night. Yes, please. That's fantastic. Fort. And what I believe are French. But are they? I'm not sure what factions they're featuring. That's a British ship back there. There are boats coming ashore. There are Marines and seamen on the ground. Judging by the blue uniforms of these gentlemen here, I would presume they're French. The French did wear white at times. I'm not sure if this is like a specific unit. Could they be... Well, they're probably not Portuguese. And my Spanish, potentially. This does seem like it could be down by Gibraltar or something like that, knowing the Napoleonic Wars. Potentially Spanish. Once again, sorry, do excuse if I do get any historical accuracies incorrect. Looking fantastic. Could be French too. Once again, definitely one of the opponents of the British. That was a mortar firing, by the way. Boarding. Smaller boats being absolutely decimated by volleys. Here we go. Another fort action. Yes. Okay. We got destruction. We can see the beautiful like HDR sort of separating the little bricks in the wall, like creating the effect here. There's some tessellation going on here. It's definitely advanced. You can see the shading around the trees here. Destruction ladders, barricades, mortars. It's like a very nice upgrade to Napoleonic Wars. This is definitely going to be something that I'm going to be very interested in. Once again, thinking if there's only two major factions featured right now, that would be the British and French, and these would just be some sort of French regiment that was wore white uniforms during the Peninsular Campaign, which is a very big possibility. Oh, right at the end there we saw a little destruction. I do want to see that again. Boom. Okay. Napoleonic warfare on multiple fronts. That means there's going to obviously be more. Here we do have those people, which would presumably be Chasseurs on foot or not quite the regular Voltigeurs, I believe. Could they be of some elite distinction due to their very decked out shakos? Not sure, but I do think the average French line infantry regiment would not be wearing the beautiful plumes and stuff around the shako. Lovely little, could this be La Haye Saint or something like that? I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but that's a classic Napoleonic map. More artillery, infantry charging. Animations look good. This guy's going to sit down, and he got shot. Oh, that looked great. Blood. More barricades, more British infantry. I think we'll see a lot more units later on. There's definitely going to be a large unit variety. Look at them. They're charging at each other. We got 95th Rifles up here. This is probably that map I just mentioned. Oh, sword combat. Yes. The Brit here going up against the French. Seems to be a blunderbuss of some sort. Short range weapon. That is a short range weapon. Not a short range weapon potentially, but obviously all the weapons at this time was pretty short range. Some sort of a blunderbuss. And that guy over there on the left was wearing, is that a spontoon of some sort? Cool. Fight on multiple fronts. Hold fast nations of war. Obviously, at this stage. Perhaps only the British and French were previewed, but I do think we're going to see Prussians, Austrians, Russians, of course. Perhaps even Danish, Swedes, Polish. There's so many little, kingdoms and sovereign states and whatnot that would be beautiful indeed. But of course, the British and French and Russians and Prussians would be the four major ones that I would mention. And then, of course, the Austrians and whatnot. But very cool indeed. And imagine the mods. Imagine 1812. Imagine the wars in America and whatnot. I'm not sure where this is going to bring us. This is just a trailer analysis. Once again, I really haven't had any contact with the developers lately, and I can't confirm or do anything else about this. But I hope you've enjoyed the trailer analysis.